It's a crazy day today, Pepe. It's a crazy morning. I'm loving the day. I'm loving today. Back to the platter. I'm not going to be able to watch all this. It's 29 minutes, but I just want to, first off, this is great. My overlords at YouTube are being sued. So first off, let me just... And let me tell you why I'm happy about that. Because as a content creator, I have been continually run over by YouTube and their really shitty management, content creator management, which is horrible. They think they've got a grasp on the content creator community. They do not one bit. Their AI help and support is pathetic. It is abysmal. There is none. I've gone through it. It's not there. Now, this is coming from a channel with over 15,000 subscribers. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination big, and that is the reason I don't get the help. After you get over 100,000 subscribers, oh, that AI probably changes into actual human help, which, by the way, actual human help still where it's at. And this automation into where we're evolving this to, where we're taking away humans from actual support jobs, customer support jobs, is going to hurt so bad. Because I already see a glimpse of a future where AI is trying to help you with everything. And let me tell you what, it is freaking scary. There's no help. There is no help. And really, YouTube has continually trampled over content creators since the very beginning of time. The very beginning of time. In so many ways. By this new algorithm that continually evolves, taking basically like viewership to a bajillion places all at once, which is, you know, let's go on this crazy merry-go-round, and then we're only going to show you things that you've already clicked on before. We're not going to add any variety. We're not going to add any spice. We're just going to keep showing you the things you click on, like cats. You like cats? Great. Here's 50,000 different breeds of cats singing all together in a conga line. Meow, 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 meow. There's your choices. That's what you got. Thank you, algorithm. This is the algorithm that you guys have. Now, here on this channel, what we try to do is listen to everybody that's here live, listen to everybody here that's in our YouTube community, okay? And we watch what it is that interests you guys, which I think is an organic algorithm, and I want to applaud everybody for being part of that algorithm. It's a new way to look at something, using actual people in the community to say, hey, look at this. This is good to watch. And interestingly enough, it's a variety. It's a mix of everything, like this, YouTube being sued, Star Citizen, video games that come out that we're interested in, news stories that are insane, right? Like, you guys are always putting in things that really have this wonderful variation to it that I think is truly something an algorithm can't replicate. At least not yet, because I've seen what the algorithm replicates, and it's just more cats. It's cats everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying. But let's watch them being sued. One of my favorite content creators, I am a huge fan of Asmongold. I think Asmongold is probably one of the most authentic YouTubers out there. I've watched Asmongold for years upon years, and I'm so happy to see this amount of success he has had, because he deserves it. The man is real. He's a very authentic person. Let's watch him reacting to YouTube being sued and see how much we're going to watch here.
YouTube is getting sued. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but YouTube is actually getting sued, and I'm kind of curious about this to see what's actually going to happen. Here we go. The Greek video.
I'm going to
believe it or not, this is one of the most highly requested topics I've ever had on the channel, period.
Yeah,
I've
I would assume that.
20 at least, more like 30 maybe, or so messages about this lawsuit, requests to cover it, DMs, emails, Patreon messages, locals messages, Discord, even my Twitter, which most of you probably barely even know of since I got permabanned. You name it, I got it. People were reaching out on that platform. As a result, here I am covering it. However, I need to say this before we actually dive in. A lot of people may not like what I'm about to say.
Good.
At first, I was kind of all into it.
That is the perfect response. A lot of people might not like what I have to say, and Asmongold's first response to that was good. This is why I love the man. This guy is so genuinely real. Like, it's okay to be offensive sometimes, obviously. In terms of the context, it's absolutely okay to offend people, and you know, like, you should say what's on your mind. You shouldn't feel policed in your words, obviously, with, you know, keeping in mind the things that you should not be, which is an asshole, you know, and express like crazy racist homophobic views or whatever the fuck, you know, asshole thing you want to do. That should just never be something that people do. I mean, that's just, you know, common courtesy and respect. But like, when you're talking about worrying about what you say because of value, because of virtue signaling, right? And you're worried about it because everybody's virtue signaling around you, you have to take a moment and just be yourself and speak your mind and say what is on your mind, you know? And that's why I love Asmongold, because, you know, he hears this guy say, oh, you know, like, you know, what I say might offend people, or what I say might make people mad. And this is why I love Asmongold. He said good. He said good. Love it.
The idea of YouTube being corrupt, a larger creator setting precedent by fighting back, and even the added drama of a conspiracy on top of it all. Yeah, color me interested. But the more I looked at things, the more I realized just how not that it really is. Ultimately, I find myself thinking that this is completely overblown, dramatized, and a likely, hopefully, forgettable instance of maybe borderline copyright infringement and nothing else.
Okay.
The most meaningful thing that we will certainly get from all this is whether or not parallax image animations of public domain photos are copyrighted works. Parallax animations, for those that don't know, can be made when you take a photograph, touch it up, strip it apart into layers, and then make those layers move a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
From each other. It's a way to give images depth of field, and every single graphic design or animation college major will learn this in, like, Intro to Animation 101.
Yeah.
I say that because I learned it in a freshman college course. You can do some cool things with it, I guess, but we're not talking about rocket science with this. Anyway, the point here is not the technical details of the copyright case, or even the impact that this case might have, which is hopefully minimal under the best circumstances, and severely damaging for all of us actual creators under the worst outcome. We're not talking about a landmark issue to help creators on this, or something on the scale of H3H3 versus Matt Hosen's-ID, or even Hughes versus Benjamin.
Right, which, by the way, H3H3 didn't really make any impact. You still have people filing false copyright shit all the time.
YouTuber lawsuits where fair use precedent was established and is now often referenced or referred to. Instead, the point is to discuss the absolutely absurd, nearly unhinged idea that YouTube is, quote, YouTube's, quote, intentional efforts to undermine the United States of America in collusion with the Russian government, end quote.
I think that would be a lot. That's hard for me to assume. I would watch the original video about why the guy's suing YouTube. It's just that the video is so long, I'm not going to do it. That's the only reason I haven't.
Context. All of this starts when RT Arabic, a substantial branch of Russia Today, which is affiliated with the Russian government, that is to say it is state-sponsored media.
Yes.
It all starts when RT Arabic uploaded a couple of videos with snippets of a parallax animation by...
There's state-sponsored media all over the world, by the way. I always laugh about this. RT is just as corrupt as any other fucking news media outlet that's tied to corporations out there, even in America, man. Like, you know, they all have a narrative. They all have got to have a narrative to support the national agenda, right? Every single fucking news outlet out there. That's why so many people are starting to gravitate to YouTube for their news, from people that are actually reporting on it and give a damn. Because it seems like the people that are most passionate about news are the people that are covering it here. But you just got to make sure that it's factually correct. I think that's the only danger of listening to people on YouTube, is that you make sure that you're listening to a credible source or somebody who's rational and looks at all sides of it, you know. But you know, RT, yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, there's a lot of Russian propaganda on it. It's so bad. But it's no different than like a CNN or a Fox or anybody else that's tied to like that has an agenda. They have an agenda. They are obviously fucking a puppet. And like, you know, I think people are tired of that same format, that same news format, and you're seeing it. You're seeing it like this rapid decrease in viewership amongst like old legacy television shows, and they're like just, it's like a vacuum, man. People are leaving the space and going to YouTube and to people that like they can connect with, that are actually just looking at a situation like the Ukraine war and saying, wow, here's what's really actually fucking happening. We've got the footage, we're on the ground, and this is what's going on. And then they express their own opinions sometimes, which, you know, depending upon the channel, you know, sometimes I dig the opinions, sometimes I don't. Personally, I like the more factual ones when it comes to my news, and they just report the events like when, where, why, how, those types of questions that get answered, and they keep it to that. And, you know, I'm not too much on opinion news. You know, even though I'm a guy who gives a lot of opinions, when I watch my news, I don't like a lot of opinions inserted into it. That's just me.
Business Casual, another channel.
Okay.
That animation had been altered in a couple of ways, such as desaturating the color, removing a watermark, or so they claim, adding music, and a couple other visual effects, and it was also a very short amount of footage. That being said, it was custom animation footage that had been crafted by the Business Casual team. I hear them on this, and as a result, they demanded that the videos be taken down. This part is probably the most clear-cut. RT Arabic says, we didn't infringe on your copyright after the notices were filed.
Okay.
Business Casual says, yes, you did, and they go to court. Okay,
Right.
cool.
Walter
Who cares? Not a soul.
Cronkite.
Sure.
One very interesting
Dude, that's
thing,
an
though,
old school
just
name, dude.
listen to this.
Alrighty, Red, have a
After
good day,
ripping
bro.
our video from our channel, RT then used a digital eraser to scrape off our watermark, which they replaced with their own watermark.
What?
But they didn't
Okay.
stop there.
Yeah, that's just flat out not true. The watermark they refer to is
Oh, shit. Oh,
the
shit.
standard YouTube insert that is a clickable overlay. It's there for any large channel you watch. I have it right now in the bottom
So
corner.
it's like like this thing right here? Is that what he's saying? Yes, it's that. Oh, well. Okay.
It's like this.
this video. You can see it right there. But if you download the video, it's gone. Business Casual very early on claimed
Well, that's a two-part thing. Because the first part is, did they remove their watermark? And the second part is, did they insert their own? So was Business Casual's watermark removed? And the Russia Today insert here was just in front of it? You see what I'm saying? How, like, these are two completely different things. Yes, okay, alright, we'll see what happens.
claims that they used a digital eraser to get rid of their watermark, replacing it with their own. But that is categorically untrue.
Right.
And started me off very early on with a severe amount of skepticism. The real interesting part comes when Business Casual decides that they're not just going to sue RT. Actually, they're suing TV Novosti, which is the company that runs the channel. They're going to sue YouTube as well. Here's the kicker. They are suing YouTube for a couple of reasons, but chief among them, they are suing YouTube for failing to terminate all of RT's different channels completely. This is where it devolves. I'm not going to make a 2-hour video hashing through every single thing.
That's a lot.
Thing that Business Casual says, or ways that they get the law wrong in their own nearly 2-hour
Ukraine should have
video,
done this.
because a good amount of it is actually legit. It passes the sniff test, some parts of it, and it indicates that YouTube needs to be way better at communication and enforcement.
No shit. Like, no shit. I'm surprised Asmongold isn't fucking like saying no shit, YouTube needs to be better.
But as I explored the case, a few things became very clear. First, Business Casual spends a...
I've always had the perspective that as soon as you see one incontinuity, like, or like one lack of continuity, like you see like one thing where this is not true, I immediately assume that everything else is bullshit. Everything else is at least suspect to being bullshit.
Sus. Definitely sus.
That's the amount of time attacking the new policy that RT is allowed to have over 30
No, it's not a
copyright
word.
strikes
I just
in
made
a
it up.
year without being subjected to a complete purge from the platform. But this entire section is deceptive. RT itself has over 30 channels, which would mean that enforcement of the parent company
Over 30 channels? Jesus Christ.
operating 30 channels independently
What?
from one another
That's
globally, based
crazy.
in separate countries, managed by different
Yeah,
companies
bingo.
with different teams of people, such as TV Novosti, would mean that YouTube...
It's the intent. Like, you know what it really is? It's the intent behind the human that decides to put the media out, right? I mean, like, a lot of the people behind content that Bingo's talking about are just like, they've got an agenda. They have a narrative that they need to tell. Usually it's a national agenda. It's a national agenda that they want to like subjugate people and hypnotize them into And it's a lot of the truth in news out there in the big legacy world is so jaded and false that you can almost smell it when you're like through the fucking screen when you start to play this shit, which is why I don't watch CNN anymore or Fox or any big news outlet anymore. I just don't trust them anymore. Like, it's always going to have like either Republican slant or a Democratic slant. I just want a fucking human slant. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm so tired of like Democrat and Republican, and you know, like I just want a goddamn human slant on the thing. Something that I think both Democrats and Republicans can agree on are humans. Like, what is the hard thing about listening and compromise? Like, why is our Congress not done anything at all? It's a broken, lame duck Congress. They haven't done anything for decades. They just sit around, man. Like, listen, I'm not trying to say it's easy to become a congressman. I've met a few, and let me tell you what, they're smart motherfuckers. They took the time to figure out the system and how to get where they got. They're not dumb, you know, even though some of them appear to be on television. But the thing is like, why is this? Why in the United States especially is there such division, right? It's because of what we're being fed by these media outlets. It's because why is there so much division? It also has to do with agendas from outside the United States, like narratives being spoken through RT, and you know, like it's a swamp. It's a quagmire of bots on Twitter and Facebook bots, and like all of these fucking nationalist fucking people coming in and trying to insert derision. Like, they're trying to divide the nation. There's footage of old KGB agents that are now living in the United States talking about how Russia has always planned for this for decades, since the 80s, to kind of come in and subvert the Chinese, man. Like, it's crazy. The espionage is on a level that is ridiculous right now. China, we're an open book. America's an open book, and all the letters and the paragraphs are being swapped around and changed all the time. And when we're not doing it to ourselves, other countries are doing it. And it's really no wonder there's such a divide. And where is it most seen? Between Republican and Democrats. Like, here's what I am. I'm a left-leaning Republican and a right-leaning Democrat. That's what I am. I'm going to applaud myself. Is that not possible? Is that not possible in today's world? Like, to be a left-leaning Republican and a right-leaning Democrat? Is that not possible anymore? Do I have to pick a side? Right? Like, why? Our political system is completely fucked up, completely broken.
YouTube enforces a policy where a collective containing dozens of channels is only allowed a tiny fraction of one copyright strike per channel per set period, making it infinitely...
I can't watch it anymore because I'm already pissed off. I got to get back to the show. I can't watch it anymore. I want to have a good day today, a fun day. And that was no fun. I apologize. Mea culpa, my fans. Red. Oh my goodness, Red. For real, dude. Listen, this is why I love this stream. I love coming here and chilling out with you guys. Man, it's refreshing. It feels so good. Like, rational, intelligent people exist with senses of humor. Applause! A beautiful day. Beautiful. Yeah. All right, turn it up a little bit. I need to feel good. This song always makes me feel good, Batman. Yeah. A beautiful day. A beautiful day. Beautiful. A beautiful day. Beautiful. Shining. Belly dances. Okay, wait. All right. Damn it. I'm getting sexual now. I'm getting sexual again. You guys are... I'm going to have to do something after this stream. I'm telling you now.